Here we go. The Paradigm Shift, episode 57. Happy Saturday. We got a really special treat today. One of my all-time favorite human beings is going to be joining us live in about 5 minutes or less. The riveting, iconic Randy Garn. In the meantime, we're waiting for my partner in crime to hop on here. What's up, Randy? I see you, brother. We're going to bring you on in less than 5. In the meantime, we're going to bring on my handsome partner in crime, the big bad articulate alligator quantum quail, Dave Meltzer. The only problem that I see is there's a rumor hitting the streets right now that this guy woke up today and downed 7, and I repeat, 7 handsome sandwiches. But it is what it is. You know the expression, you never want to be the smartest cat in the room? Well, I know for sure that I'm not going to be the most handsome cat in the room right now with Randy and Dave, but it is what it is. Let's do this. Yeet!
Whoa, look at those armpit sweat.
I just got back from a 5-mile run. Can I live? Can't win with this guy.
Me too.
Did you?
3.5 miles. I don't run 5 miles.
That's okay.
Yeah.
At least you put it in. Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
So the audience was taking a poll on how many handsome sandwiches you had today. 7?
Yeah, I heard you. You nailed it. One for each day.
You look great.
I feel great, man. I'm so fired up. I'm got Vegas on Monday with exceptional beings, and then taking the red eye down to Puerto Rico to be with some friends I have not seen in a while. Steve Sims, Gary Vaynerchuk, Bobby Castro, just amazing people. And of course, Thaddeus Gala putting on the Guardians Retreat, and then back to Vegas for the draft. So I got a very exciting week, but most importantly, I had a baseball game last night for my son, and I got another one in an hour here. We'll be getting ready, and he's just dropping bombs. It's so much fun to watch his success.
That's awesome, but no surprise there. He's a chip off the old block.
Yeah, I wish I was as good as he was, but he's eating 14 handsome sandwiches.
Yeah, I believe it. Jakey Bakey in the house, no big deal. Everybody's out today. Guys, we're going to do something a little different at the end. We're going to take one question from the audience. We're going to bring Randy on in 2 minutes. Let's kick it off. Dave, I was looking at your content this week for a couple reasons. Number one, because I always creep on you because I love you. But ultimately, I love to learn from you. And one thing that you said that really struck a chord was this. And you were talking about the best strategy to not care what other people think. I think that's big for everybody.
Yeah, and there's a couple top selling books about this topic, about, the subtleties of not giving an F, and, understanding caring in the concept of caring. Caring actually holds to it an ego-based consciousness, and it has a false sense of responsibility, of love, of respect. Caring actually is a void, a shortage, and an obstacle. It's an insecurity that you're not unconditionally connected, unconditionally forgiving, unconditionally loving those other people. So instead of caring, putting some sort of trade, negotiation, or scarcity on a relationship, you should just learn from it. If we look at all the relationships, that there's light, love, and lessons in it, and is it worth my time to learn from this situation, this experience, or this person, and we put things into the context of learning, we will not only feel better because there'll be less interference, less ego-based consciousness, but we actually will expedite the bonding or healing of the relationship and the productivity, accessibility, and gratitude that exists, not only between us, but us and, of course, the omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing being. So I am a big learner, and when I find myself caring what other people do, say, or think, I remind myself, learn from what they do, say, or think. Don't care about it, because the truth is, Craig, as much as I adore you, love you, forgive you, I will never know what you do completely, what you think completely, or what you feel about me or anybody else. So if I can learn, now I'm on the right trajectory.
Yeah. You are a beautiful man.
I'm working on it, but I have beautiful friends like you, and it's such an honor to be here every Saturday with you and to watch your progress, your growth. My mission is to empower others, and to see you elevated and how you elevate others, man, it's just, I'm seeing things materialize and monetize in my life, and you're part of that materialization and monetization.
Thank you so much. And I owe so much to you. In regards to you not knowing everything I think of you, I love you, buddy. When I said you're a beautiful man, I didn't just mean the physicality, just your mindset, your wisdom, your knowledge, and your life. Like everybody has experience, but you take such valuable lessons from everything you've learned, and you make it so applicable for everybody if they follow it, right? Because knowledge is only potential power. But I love you. We're going to bring on Randy right now. I like to call him the guy behind the guy, aka the jug behind the jug. And talk about handsome sandwich. I mean, this guy scarfed down a handsome pizza.
I think inch by inch, inch for inch, Randy Garn may be the most beautiful person I've ever met. Inch for inch. He's like the Altuve. He's like Altuve of love. You know how Altuve is the greatest baseball player inch for inch? Randy Garn, inch for inch, is the most beautiful human being.
I love you too. What a good morning to hang out with Dave and my buddy Craig. Are you kidding me? I forget about it. This is awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us, Randy. We love you. We've been excited for this episode for a while. Where are
You know, I'm actually speaking at a big event up here at the Montage up in Deer Valley today. So we're gonna, after I get done with this, we're gonna go kick it off another one. So just trying to share the good news around the world, baby.
Yeah, and to be honest, you never look more handsome. You're outshining both of us, but it is what it is. We're gonna dive right. Ready for me?
Ready. I'm ready. You know what? You know what is awesome, though, Craig, is that you and Dave have come into my life, and I admire both of you two so much, and I'm grateful for all that you share, all that you do, and hopefully we can help lift and build some others up today.
Absolutely, 100%. I love it, and thank. Two words that you often talk about that the audience is going to get a lot from right now. Raising necessity.
Yeah. So here's the deal. We have, you know, my partner's Brendan Burchard. Brendan has done the most extensive research in the history of around habits. So like, what are our daily habits? And, you know, the first habit is to seek clarity. The second habit is to generate energy. The third habit, and it's sequential, is actually to raise necessity. And raise necessity is one thing that I've really learned and helped me step up my life game, is that it's bigger than a goal. Anybody can set goals, right? But raising necessity is setting a goal in which that you so much committed to yourself that you're not going to let yourself down. And so it's raising necessity is like there's a bigger purpose than behind just a goal. And that is actually the third habit, the third most important habit for high performers.
Dave, what's on your mind?
Well, I'm just looking at this handsome group here and thinking to myself, I'm blessed to be around the billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers. And the one common denominator of all of these people, and Randy Garn is absolutely one of them, is that idea of raising necessity. Although I articulate it in a different vernacular, I talk about that you must be what you can be. And in the concept of enjoying the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of your potential, attention and intention on the cause of that is this main common denominator of raising necessity, or having a desire that you must be your best self. And whether it's in a religious context, whether it's in a spiritual context or a philosophical context, and I encourage everyone to pursue all three of those contexts of desire, of necessity, and raising that desire and necessity in your life. All three of those, put it into the context of all three so that you can unite on some level with everyone. See, if we only do it in a religious context, then we leave out a bunch of people. And if we only do it in a spiritual context, we leave out a bunch of people. And if we only do it in a philosophical context, we leave out. And then what happens is we're not utilizing that desire that we must be our higher self in order to elevate others, which I know is the primary objective of Randy Garn, Craig Siegel. And I know for myself, my life mission is to empower others, simply to be happy in that context. So, I'm just a huge supporter. And what I love about this, Randy, I know you probably don't see this show as much as I do since I'm on it. But what I love about it, when you get three people together, that we share similar vibration or frequency, but we articulate it differently, and it reinforces to all the different audiences the same great aspirations and inspirations that have helped us make a lot of money, help a lot of people ourselves. And most importantly, you're not going to find 3 guys that have more fun than us. Just saying.
You know what? It is true. It's like, I always say, like, the more you serve, the less you have to sell. And you know, we, like Dave, I've loved watching your career and your life, because you're a giver and a giver and a giver. And Craig, just getting to know you on a whole deeper level, it's the same thing. It's a law of reciprocity. And my dad always said, you know, do as much as you can for as many people as you can, as often as you can, and expect nothing in return. That, I mean, that is the key to joy and happiness, is me lift thee and thee lift me and we'll ascend together. That's what we do. And so many people are just so transactional. I'm done being transactional. It's like, I want to drive value. I want to drive value. And if I drive value, then people then come out of the woodworks and be like, dude, I owe you something. I do something. And I don't do it for those reasons. But literally, the more you give, the greater the joy. It's the more you give, the greater the joy in everything that we do in our life. And so I think back to yours, raising necessity is like, keep raising the bar every day. Keep giving, keep giving, keep giving. You know, one of my favorite books is The Go-Giver, and it reminds me of both of you two a ton. So that's what, let's raise the bar. Let's double down on goodness. Let's raise the bar, double down on doing good in the world.
I just had Bob Berg on my podcast, and had a great conversation about, you know, the protagonist, the star of Go-Giver, Pandor. He's based off of Bob Proctor, which is probably why all 3 of us love that book so much, as we all have been mentored and have learned so much and been empowered by Bob Proctor, who passed away recently. So I thought it was something I didn't know, that book was based off of Bob Proctor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This synergy here is incredible. And I just want to acknowledge both of you for one second. And I'd love to hear your take on this, Randy, and then Dave also, because you two, of literally the north of 7 billion people in the world, that you guys do this better than anyone. And it's you have and you play that long game mentality. For the audience, what do you mean by that, Randy?
Say that one more time, Craig.
The long game.
Oh, the long game. Well, if you want something to last forever, you treat it differently, you know? And I always say that if you want something to last forever, you treat it differently, especially your reputation. It's our greatest asset, is our name. And so the long game for me is, how much did I give in my life? How much did I love in my life? What do people think about me? What do people say about me? Like, it is important. It's like that, like, what do we stand for? What is our personal brand? Because what is our long game? And what do you leave at the end of the day? And so I think that's one, first and foremost, is I think about that as my long game. What legacy am I going to live for my children and my family? And how many people's lives can I bless? When I get on the other side, hopefully there's going to be a ton of people there that I've helped be better and do better. And so for me, it's a longer game than just this life. I'm not kidding. It really is. And so I have kind of this perspective that, you know, that it's going to be much deeper and much wider and much more exciting after this life, when we have tons of friends that we've lifted up and built over the years. So that's, for me, one of the long games. The other long game is that you never know who the treasure map to the treasure is. And treat the CEO and the Uber driver exactly the same. Because if you treat somebody kindly, you never know where that person's going to lead you to and connect you to. And so the long game is to be kind always, because if you do one thing wrong, it will have a ripple effect for the rest of your life. And so I just want to always be conscious of that.
Randy's got nuggets. What are you looking at, you sex octopus?
I'm just learning, right? We talked about the difference between caring and learning. And every time I get around you two, I learn so much, and it helps clarify some of the perspective that I have on my life. And one of those perspectives is what I call the long and strong game, involving the idea of trying to grasp infinity, as Randy articulated, right? We want to grasp killing off the limitations that we put on ourselves. The only thing that will die in this lifetime will be those limitations. But I think, you know, being a math person, the long game to me is understanding math. And it's not just in the compounding of interest with money, or the aggregate effect, or the exponential growth factors that are inclusive in consistent, persistent savings or consistent behavior. It goes to the fact that all 5 levels of intentions in our life aggregate on themselves to reinforce the huge nugget of doing good deeds and being kind to your future self by doing good deeds. Everything that you do every day aggregates on itself. So good activity and bad activity will aggregate and compound just like money. The rule of 72 applies. Everything you say will aggregate on itself as well. It will compound in its interest, the same as money. The rule of 72 applies. Everything that you think, good or bad, will aggregate on itself, and the rule of 72 will apply. Everything you believe, indicated by the minutes and moments that you're out of belief, the minutes and moments that you can identify the needs of the ego-based consciousness, the fears that you have and need to be separate, and fear is superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, whatever it may be, complaining or worrying, 2 indicators that you don't believe, and only spend minutes and moments outside of that. And then finally, the 5th level of intention that aggregates on itself, compounds just like money. The rule of 72 applies, is the way that we feel. And so that's why we want to feel good. We want to be inspired, enthusiastic with God, with whatever you believe in a religious, spiritual, or philosophical context. Whatever you believe, it will aggregate on itself. And so at its core, if you don't believe in the long and strong game, if you don't believe when you put money in the bank that it's going to grow, and you may not see any substantial growth till you're 90% of the way of savings, and then it will start doubling and then double again. And all of a sudden you may be one of the richest people on earth because you played the long and strong game, not just with what you do, say, think, and believe, but how you feel and how you've made other feels, reinforcing being kind to your future self by continually aggregating and compounding good deeds.
You guys are the best. Randy, what are you smiling at?
I just keep thinking about, I just keep thinking about how amazing Dave is. And honestly, the more you get to know Dave, his heart is so pure, and he really does care about everyone. And I love learning from him. And I think one of the things that sparked me is when somebody said, "Hey, Randy, you're really interesting. You just collect friends as you go through life." And for me, it's not about an accumulation of things. Like, people are more important than things. That's one of the things my wife always reminds me. Randy, people are more important than things. And that's my true wealth. And my true wealth is my relationships and my friends and my relationship with my wife and my kids and my family. Because I think the 3 of us are very aligned that way. I know Dave's got a beautiful family. I know how much, I'm coaching my boys. I'm their flag football coach. So I'm taking time to do that. I got the Saints are playing the Eagles today, and we got to have a win. And I remember my son Jack, all of his buddies are at my house at the swimming pool, and they're like, "Dad, we want to play flag football, and we want you to be our coach." And I remember looking down at him like, "Jack, I don't know if I can. I'm so busy because we got so much going on." He's like, "But Dad, you always told me that we're the most important." And so I'm like, how can I not do that? So it is aligning those priorities. A lot of people talk about that, but I'm trying to do that the best that I can. I really am trying to be an amazing husband, an amazing father, and surrounding myself with like-minded people like you, Craig, and like you, Dave, that want the same thing. At the end of the day, we don't want to be that person that's sitting on a pile of gold with no friends. And I always say, drop me, take everything away from me, take all my assets away, take all my money away, take all my cars away, take everything away, and drop me on an island somewhere. And as long as you don't take my friends and my network, I'll be up and running in 3 to 6 months. That's really what true wealth is surrounding yourself with people that you love, like, and respect, that have your back, that are in your corner, that are fighting for you, like we're fighting for the 3 of us. That is true happiness. That's true joy. And to me, that is true prosperity and wealth.
This is awesome. What a beautiful conversation. Randy, we know you're about to hop on stage, so when you could be anywhere right now, but we're so grateful for you joining us. Dave, you want to land the plane and take us home with one final nugget?
It's always the idea of how we connect to 2 things. And I know Randy believes this, and so do I. As much as we want to inspire other people, you can't give what you don't have. And when I see the inch for inch most beautiful human being next to me, I think to myself that he has this power, this glow, this light, because he's connected to the power, the glow, and the light, that he believes, like I do, almost all the time. Even when there's pain, struggles, setbacks, failures, and mistakes in his life, he believes in something bigger than him. something bigger than him that loves him more than his mom loves him, more than he loves those kids. And if you don't have a foundational principle of that, either religiously, spiritually, or philosophically, I think you're going to have a difficult time having the power, the light, the love, the joy that Randy Garn has, that Craig Siegel has, and that I aspire to have as well, by knowing that we're happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy. No need to get more happy, more healthy, more wealthy, more worthy. Just clear the interference between you and that health, happiness, wealth, and worthiness. Learn from others, be kind to others, and do good deeds. I appreciate both of you. Randy, go kick some butt on that stage. Go help some people.
Yeah, and the audience, guys, if you're not familiar with Randy, go follow him. Go check out all the amazing things that he's got going on. I already know you're going to do that with Dave. Randy, thank you so much for your time today. I love you. Go kick some butt. I'll text you later.
If Randy was as good at football as he is at speaking, he'd be playing on Sundays.
That's right, baby. Yeah. Hey, love you guys. Have a great Saturday.
Bye,
Love you.
See you. Keep eating those handsome sandwiches. See you guys later.
Bye, guys. Too much fun. Episode 57 in the books. Wow. 57. One word that comes to mind is consistency and commitment. Hope you guys got a ton of nuggets out of that. To be honest with you, I did. I was a sponge right there, just learning and hearing all the nuggets and the gems. Joy in the house. Aleska, please. That's right. Sex Owl. Karina, happy birthday. Everybody's out today. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It was awesome. That's what it's all about on a Saturday morning. States, the Quantum Queen, no big deal. That's what it's all about, guys. A little bit of nuggets, wisdom, knowledge, and a lot of fun. You got to combine having fun. Mikey in the house. Can't wait to see you next week. Rachie, Chef Marshall, Randy Garn, guys, and Dave Meltzer. Riley girl, yes. D in the house, Alexandra. Everybody's out today. Guys, if you're not already in the CLS texting community, text them on the bottom of the screen. Daily nuggets and gems all the time. Stace, that's it, guys. Have an unbelievable rest of the day. Take some of these wisdoms, these knowledge, these nuggets, and make them applicable. Do something to set yourself up, move forward. And I challenge everybody with this one last thing. I challenge you to think bigger. Find different areas in your life where it's possible that maybe you're playing a little too small, and shift your perspective, or have a paradigm shift and say to yourself, how can I think bigger in some of these areas, right? Because if you can't think it, then you can't really achieve it. So I challenge you to think a little bigger in all facets of life. Kim, love you. Mikey, can't wait to see you next week, buddy. All right, guys, so think bigger, take the nuggets, and apply them. Deal, Riley girl. Love you guys. Have an unbelievable Saturday. You dig?